Hi guys, and welcome to ESL and Eyeshadow, and today is a teacher tale. So this is one of the stories I've got from my years of teaching and travelling, and today's story is all about food. So basically, I love food. You can probably get that from the shape of my face. I am dieting though, so get in there. It's difficult when you're 40. Anyway, one of the things I loved most about when I was travelling was getting to taste the authentic food in all the different countries that I travelled to. And I spent 2 years in Asia. So when I first arrived in China, I hadn't been outside of Europe before. So it was a big culture shock anyway. And I spent the first few days completely terrified of everything because the place I chose to go to, there weren't many native English people there. There weren't very many Western people there, and I was the only female that had ever lived in this particular town at the time I arrived. They have had more now, so it was quite a small town by Chinese standards. And I would get followed around like I was some kind of like celebrity, and people would try and take my photos, and basically I was terrified for the first 5 days, and I would run in and out of stores and just grab something that looked like something I recognised and ran home. I basically lived on ramen and instant noodles for about a week. And so then someone told me there was a supermarket that was near the school and that they sold imported food, so maybe they had some English stuff to make me feel a little better. So I went walking to the supermarket. I went in the supermarket. I did find some things. I found a box of Kellogg's cereal, which was great, but I won't mention by name. So I was really happy. Couldn't find any normal milk. Ended up with like strawberry flavoured milk, which wasn't a great combination. But yeah. So anyway, I left, and as I was leaving the supermarket, because I went out of a different entrance to the one that I came in, I saw this little coffee shop, and I thought, I'll just stop in for some coffee. I'm an unashamed coffee addict, and it looked a little bit like a Starbucks, but a Chinese version. So I went in, and they had all these different coffees, and I ordered myself my usual favourite, my caramel frappuccino, and they had on display these cakes, which I can't tell you, just looked amazing and like just delicious. Even picturing them now, I'm getting hungry. And they had this one cake that looked exactly like, I don't know what their real names are even in English, those kind of donuts. The donut with a sort of long donut with a split in the middle and cream down the centre and a little cherry on the top and maybe some crystallized sugar. One of those. And I looked at the cheesecakes and the mousses and everything else and went, I'm English, I need a donut. I want that donut. So I ordered the split donut. And I sat there with my caramel frappuccino, which was fabulous. I will just say the frappuccino was fantastic. And I sat down and I saw this wonderful cake, the lovely donutty pastry covered in caramelized sugar with cream and a little cherry on the top, like half, the glacé cherry things. And I was like, oh, this will be so good. And I sat down and I took a bite. There was something a little off with it, but I thought, it's not going to be exactly the same. I'll press on. Took a bigger bite out of it and just stopped and stared at it for a second and slowly swallowed what I had just bitten off. And I looked, and running throughout the centre, hidden under the squirty cream, were beans. Beans. Let me say that one more time. Beans. I like beans. I don't like them on a cream cake. And then the funny taste that I had before, I had more of, and I realised what was caramelised sugar, what I thought was caramelised sugar, wasn't caramelised sugar. It was pork. Pork. Pork and beans. In a cake. It's this stuff called pork floss, and it basically does look like sort of like wispy caramelized sugar, but it's actually pig in a cake on a donut. At least the glacé cherry was real, but the rest of it. And so I went back to the school that I was working for, and I was like, what is this abomination? Why have you done this to a perfectly good cake? And literally everybody looked at me like, what, you don't put pork and beans in cakes in England? And I was like, no, nobody does that. And it was at that point I realised just how wonderful cultural diversity is and how different cultures are fantastic, because they genuinely thought I was mad for not wanting beans and pork with my cake, and I genuinely thought they were mad for putting those flavour combinations together. So yeah, I avoided cakes after that, which was good for my diet at the time. I made up for it when I moved from Asia to Italy. But one other quick fun food fact from when I was in Asia. I got an ice cream once, and you know, my Chinese is not brilliant. I understand some Chinese, I speak a little Chinese, not as much as I should have, but when you first get there it's a little overwhelming. So when I went to buy an ice cream, I basically just went on colour. So I looked at the different colours and I thought, oh okay, so I don't know what that could be or that could be, but that one's yellow and that one's green, so the yellow one has got to be lemon. So what other colour is lemon? Yellow ice cream, it's lemon or cream of some sort. And the green one, it's mint or maybe pistachio, or you know, something we would associate with green and yellow. Never ever do this if you go abroad to like a different continent, because the colours we associate with things are not necessarily the colours that other people associate with things. So I got myself a scoop of what I assumed would be lemon and mint ice cream to go in my cone, which then turned out to be sweet corn and peas. I love ice cream. I didn't eat ice cream for another year after that. Again, great for my diet, but when I got to Italy, I think I only went to Italy basically for the gelato and cakes. After 2 years in China, terrified of ice cream and cakes. Anyway, that was just my little teacher tale for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below if you've had any food disasters when you've been travelling. I'd love to hear about them. And remember, just because you think something is probably mint or caramelized sugar doesn't mean it's not peas and pork. Always check. Google Translate, guys. Google Translate. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!